All right. We are back, and finally, third time's the charm. we had a little bit of phone tag going on there for a while. There, life was getting in the way. But anyway, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the stream, and welcome back to Carla and John.
Thank you.
Hello, Bob. Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys, and I'm glad to see you guys. I'm glad to see you're doing well, and because I know you guys have had a little bit of adversity the last couple of months here. You guys had that house fire. Unfortunately, you guys were insured and you guys were safe, and the community was able to rally around you a little bit to help take a little bit of this thing out of there. But you guys, man, I talk about a fast recovery, man. You guys got to work on Grim Reaper 2 fast.
Yeah, no, thanks. We did, and that's all thanks to CG, because I'll tell you why. The community rallied behind us and started that crowdfunding campaign with which we could buy like the tools that we need for working on these projects. So that is mostly the reason why we got back and back to work so quick. And yeah, so like I always say, we're very grateful, and we couldn't be more CG after what happened, especially.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. And it's like literally the day before we were talking and everything, and then the next day you posted that picture. I was like, oh my God.
Right, yeah, it can happen to anyone, and it just takes seconds. It takes seconds.
Yeah, I mean, life continues at the speed of life.
It does. It really does. It was a crazy moment, without a doubt. I remember we were on your show the day before, and the day after I was just supposed to go to work. Just a few hours before that happened, and so it's kind of a funny story, because I went to the store to get us a TV. And I was coming back with the TV, which is the only thing that was saved at the end of the day, because you know what I mean. I'm coming back with the TV. That's where we, see like a bunch of firefighter trucks and stuff out there. And I don't know what was in me that I was like, yeah, that's my house. That it has to be my house. So, of course, they like made this perimeter that like they blocked couple, like they blocked the road. So I just stopped, sprinted all the way to my house, and sure enough, there it was. The house was all black everywhere. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So of course I'm just looking for my wife at this point, seeing where she is, and the paramedics had her, and she was fine. She was just she had a nice old tan from but other than that, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm just glad you guys are safe, and you're back here now, and you're man. Talk about taking off like a bullet out of a gun. Grim Reaper 2, it's already it's coming really close to exceeding the first campaign, which is always good. That's what you want. But
it is. But most importantly, I think to highlight is that yes, we're making just as much right now as the first campaign, but is the fact that the whole campaign on Indiegogo, the Grim Reaper 1 took about 4-5 months. Was on for 4 or 5 months. This one has been on for 2 weeks. So yeah, I think that we're definitely going to surpass it without a doubt, because we still have a lot of days left. Most importantly, we are going to I hope probably double what we've gotten so far. And it's not, I always say this to me and to Carla, it's really not about how much money we make. This is a hobby. We work for a living. You know what I mean? We have jobs and things like that. But this to me is a dream. You know what I mean? I want people to have my book in their hands. I want people to read it more so than the money that they put down. I want backers. I want people to get my book in any way they can get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? If they get a physical copy, if they get a PDF copy, whatever. I want them to have my book. I want them to read my material. I want them to be entertained by our content. I want to showcase our art. I want to showcase our talent, and I want to showcase our stories that we work so hard and passionately for. It's all about creating content and getting it to people's hands and getting people to enjoy it. If we could, we'll do this for free, but we don't, because of course we have to cover the cost of printing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and also all the work hours that take, especially for the illustration, right? So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah. I mean, like I said, book 2 took off, and it's tracking hopefully to double, like you said. But I know for you guys, these books they're basically a labor of love, and
yes, yes.
everything you get from them, you put into the next one.
It is. It's basically all we do. We get very little out of it, and like I said, this is because it's our dream to be showcased, to be to have these books in people's hands, to send them to people to see, to maybe even bring some joy to into their days by reading them and some excitement and whatnot. And that's really all we are about with our books. The money is it's just a tool to get them going, to print them, to ship them, and all that stuff. And of course, it's nice if we have some money left. Of course, yeah. But
Well,
we are,
The money comes after. Like first, we have this mission.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And I thank you guys in Comics Kid, and especially YouTubers and promoters who push these projects, but not only that, but also bring us on your show, because I always say that the backbone of Comics Kid, without a doubt, are these live streams on YouTube. I think we would be nowhere without these YouTube channels and the views that you guys get, and so on and so forth. I think that is the most important part.
well, well, this is what we're here for, man. This is what we like to do. And with that, like I want to show this video because I want to talk about this promo video you did, because I know you impressed a lot of people with this intro, Carla, and I know that Antonio approached you to do the video for his next campaign, Brand Way the Gun.
Yeah. He loved it. He loved the trailer.
He's been gushing about that thing, because I do the Wrestling Council podcast with him on Thursdays, and he's like, I was talking, like, yeah, I'm having Carla and John on. He goes, man, I just talked to her, and I'm having her do that video, my video for Way the Gun. And I was like, wow, so that's awesome, But let's take a look at that real quick here.
All right.
Let me go ahead and share this thing out. That's cool. That's awesome.
Short and sweet.
That was really, I really like that. That was like the effects that you guys put into this. Like, I can see why this impressed Antonio so much. And this,
Yeah.
I love this thing, because I was actually wanted to ask you some questions about the character here, because I know that I actually went through and read through this. Like, even though the character looks different, this is still the same character from the first book.
Yes, he's just wearing different clothes, but yeah.
Yeah.
This time he's kind of wearing battle armor because he knows that he has to go through hell to rescue a lost soul that got put in there. And the story is kind of like the detective, like murder detective kind of drama at first. So a murder mystery drama. We see the murder of an immortal being, and the Grim Reaper gets put on trial for it because he's supposed to make sure that the immortals never die. And because an immortal has died, he has to go back. He has to go in hell and rescue her back. You know what I mean? Because and he has to find out with what they did it, like what weapon is powerful enough to basically kill a god or a demon. You know what I mean? And so of course he goes to hell, but going in hell, means that everybody in there is going to attack him because everybody in hell hates him. Everybody there is nothing. Is a place of pain and suffering, but they know that if someone put him there was death. You know what I mean? So they come after him, and he has to fight his way out of hell, riding his fiery steed, who is another character in the book that I wanted to include was the horse of the apocalypse, and this horse breathes fire, and it's very snappy in a way because he can talk, and we see a lot of his personality too. And so yeah, it's tons of new characters, and the Grim Reaper, even though he's the same Grim Reaper, he has changed because this time he's really pissed, and he means business.
Yeah, and actually, in relation to the first book, like, does this take place like immediately after that, or is like, because I know there's a little bit of time jump in there.
Well, what happens is, yeah, we left off in the Grim Reaper one. We left off with a pretty cool cliffhanger that kind of that kind of got people going. You know what I mean? People were very excited to get the second one, just to kind of find out what happened on that last page, like after that last page. So yeah, there's a little bit of a time jump at first because we see the murder happening and all that stuff of this entity, this being. We see her getting killed by someone in the shadows, and we don't know who it is. But then we go back to that scene on the last page of the first book where they open the door and they don't know who just rang the bell, and then we find out who did it and what he's doing there. The Grim Reaper at this point is kind of fighting his way out of hell, trying to rescue this being. And will he make it on time? Back to his house to kind of save his children or help them out because they're being attacked by something from his past. That's something we'll have to find out.
And let's see where my notes up here. And just to reiterate that you've got this side quest here, the Curse of the Medallion with Rasputin, and that leads into part of what you said you wanted to do with these books, so that you're building a larger Reaper universe, basically.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're planning on doing a few more books about with this lore, and I think that the Curse of the Medallion really ties them together nicely because this is a side book. This is a spin-off story that's also available in the campaign for people to read, and I think it's important for people to read it if they care about this mythos at all, because a lot of objects, you know what I mean, a lot of artifacts in these stories are kind of characters on their own. And the medallion in and of itself is a really important character, I will say, for the Grim Reaper universe. Basically, a little bit of the plot of the story of the side story is that Rasputin is fatally ill. He's about to die when he gets visited by the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper tells him that his days are numbering. He's gonna come for him soon, but that he's letting him know because he's a friend. And Rasputin, says, if it's my time, it's my time. Just come and have a drink with me. They sat down, they drink some vodka, they get very drunk, and then Rasputin challenges him to an arm wrestle competition and tells him that if the Grim Reaper can beat him at it, then he will go with him. But if he can beat the Grim Reaper, then the Grim Reaper cannot take his soul. The Grim Reaper accepts the bet and they arm wrestle, but Rasputin manages to cheat, and the Grim Reaper has no option but to keep him alive. And the way he does that is he tells him that to wear a medallion that's it's kind of an accursed artifact that will keep you alive so long as you wear it. And that's kind of how I explained the historical fact that Rasputin's murder was just really weird. They poisoned him, they shot him, they set him on fire, they threw him on a frozen river, and they could never kill this guy.
I remember I read the story about Rasputin, man, and it's cool that you put the whole drinking thing in there because he was like really famous, like he was a famous partier.
Right. Yeah,
they tried to kill that guy so many times, and he just kept shrugging it off.
Yeah, he did. He he was not dying, and I think it was really. I think there is so much in history that you can just explain away with fantasy that it's a missed opportunity in a lot of ways, and so I did it. Rasputin is not dying because he's wearing the medallion. Now here's where he ties on to the rest of the lore, because eventually, of course, they do, spoiler alert, they do manage to kill Rasputin like they did in real life, but the medallion is still kind of there. You know what I mean? So the medallion gets passed on to someone else, and that someone else is going to be the love of the Grim Reaper's life, and that's going to be the mother of his children, and why not? But there is a really good story that we're developing right now for the Grim Reaper 3. The Grim Reaper 3 is going to be called the Grim Reaper: The Kiss of Death. and it's gonna be kind of a love story, but with a lot of other things. Of course, it's still gonna be a comic book um, story with action and things like that. But there's gonna be a lot of romance in it as well. So I think that would be a nice way to kind of finish the story off, and that's where we're going next. And the medallion, like I said, plays a huge part in it.
Yeah, and we're looking at the page right here now where they finally actually do manage to off him, and we see the medallion kind of clinking along here, and it picks up and it gets handed off here. That's cool. And I know that you guys like um have you thought about doing like a story with like just like his kids, because I know his children are like a big part of the story as well.
Yeah, they're gonna be really, like, they're gonna be pretty much the center focus of the Grim Reaper 3, where we kind of finish off the trilogy. But then after the like with the Grim Reaper 3, we're also gonna launch another spin-off, another side story that will kind of conclude the whole universe. And our plan for the end of the year is to have a hardcover book with like a compilation of all of the Grim Reaper stories, and I think that will be a really fair and nice conclusion to the story, to finish it with a big book of all the chapters in this really crazy and cool story.
Yeah, and so basically the whole idea is like to take like parts 1, 2, and 3 and put them all into one big volume and then put that out as like a trade.
It will be, but also the spin-offs. They'll
Okay.
go in there as well as separate chapters, and I think that they will be very well received. And for anybody who at that time hasn't heard of us, they can get that book, and it will be, you know what I mean. It will have the whole thing, and of course, if you're a collector, you want to have them all. And as you know, we use really the best quality printer out there, and the cardstock is beautiful, the glossy pages and the cover is beautiful. And we're gonna be perfect. We're gonna be launching this book as a perfect bound. So no staples. We're really excited about that. We want to see really how it comes out, and yeah. So a lot of changes, a lot of good changes, and a lot of
Mhm.
things coming.
Yeah, and this is the pinup that's one of the perks that you guys are offering right here.
That pinup might actually end up being given now for free to all the backers if we hit the $2,000 mark. That's a stretch goal that we have. Everybody will get that pinup for free, because it's not really the only pinup that we are offering in the campaign. So of course, if you buy a perk with a pinup, but everybody's gonna get a free pinup, you're gonna get an extra pinup that's not that one, but also you're gonna get this one as a free pinup.
Cool, cool. This is and like I said, some of these pages are really good. Like I love the look that he's got here. Like because like originally in the first look he has, he's got kind of like that mysterious stranger look with the hat and the
Yes,
and,
yes.
and thing, and now he looks almost like a Ghost Rider-ish kind of thing,
He
which is
does, and it's there's a lot to it, to the body armor that he's wearing and things like that, because remember, he's going to hell to rescue this being. This being is called Lust. So basically, you have two bands of immortals here that have always been fighting each other. You have the immortals that people worship as gods and have been worshiping as gods since the dawn of time. You know what I mean? From all different cultures. And then you have their counterparts, which kind of are a mirror to the gods and to their ugly side. And these things are called sins. So these sins basically are represent everything bad about the gods. You know what I mean? This one is lust. She's kind of the sexual deviant, that lures men and makes men do stupid things and why not, and mind controls people. And so because this cosmic war that they've been embedded in, the gods could never kill the sins, and the sins could never kill the gods. So the gods figure will just imprison them all, and they do put them all inside a box, the Pandora's box.
Mhm.
But Pandora, of course, releases them, opens the box, and kind of releases all the demons of the world out into the world. And the gods, fed up with it, just make a truce with these demons and say, "Look, we will stay out of your way. You stay out of our way. You can punish humanity however you want. We don't care anymore. But you don't kill us. We don't kill you." And then, of course, they create this thing called the Grim Reaper to make sure that he always takes the souls of mortal people, but that he always makes sure that the immortals never die. So when someone starts killing them out, they freak out. They're like, I thought we had a deal, Reaper. You know what I mean? Why are you letting this happen? And so that's why he's like, okay, I got it. I'm on top of it. I'm gonna go bring her back to life because I know she doesn't belong in there, and I'll find out who the murderer is.
Cool, very cool. And technically, and then, like I really like your color, your use of color here, guys. Like this page right here in particular, I really dig this.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I try to change the color palette in every scene, so it's always something new, and you don't get bored of always seeing the same. I choose different palettes for different places also, so it evocates a different atmosphere. I wanna I wanna make the comic look as cinematic as possible. I apply that to the video, to the trailer, also to the comic itself. I wanted to that you feel you're watching TV. That's my approach to it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. And then, like you said, we're getting introduced to some more characters here. You're talking about how like the medallion and everything was the character. Like these things like sentient, or is like I like the medallion and the whatnot. Is like are they alive, or is it just like a character as far as it's a plot device?
I think that it's a character, especially in the sense of it has a backstory that is really important. You know what I mean? Another of the artifacts, like the medallion, like you said, yes, it is, and at the same time, it really, the Grim Reaper kind of cheated Rasputin in a way because yes, it can keep you alive so long as you wear it, but it also has a way to pick really who can wear it. You know what I mean? So that is kind of like the big trick that the Grim Reaper pulled on Rasputin, and that's why Rasputin really, was killed in the end. Because with other characters that are gonna wear it eventually, you see that when people try to snatch it out, it burns their hand. You know what I mean? So, but with Rasputin, it didn't really put that much of a fight because he just wasn't worth it of wearing it. And then there's always a backstory to these artifacts. Like the other artifact that they use is the weapon that they use to kill this entity, this demon, and and how it was forged is a very important plot device in the story. You know what I mean? It's kind of a side plot um, that dwells into like Greek mythology and really cool stuff like that we did with the comic, and that you can see some snippets of in the trailer, and why not? And we'll be showing more of that in the future for sure.
Cool. So let's real quick here. Let's go through some of the packages you got here.
Sure.
You got the base, the one that they're pushing the most is the Infernal packet, which is a $30 packet. You get the physical copy of the second issue, physical copy of the spinoff, and physical copy of the first book. So you get both the full books and then the spinoff copy as well.
Right. Yes, we are, and just remember that this is like the first book was 36 pages, the second book is 40 pages. The spin-off is only around 20 pages, so it's a lot of pages for $30. Of really high quality comic book content. So yeah, definitely get it. It's our feature perk. We made a feature for a reason because I think we know it's a really good deal. You're getting 3 quality books.
Yeah, so you're getting
really good.
Upwards of 100 pages of content here for that $30.
Right. Absolutely.
Very cool. And then of course, if you're you're poor like me,
yeah,
you got the PDF, you got the digital version for $7, which is cool. Oh, what mistake? Hang on.
Absolutely, and it's not only for people who doesn't have enough money to back the other tiers, which is a lot of people just want to help us out. A lot of people just want to push this campaign and get it to the goal. And listen, I've seen people trash PDFs and digital copies for some reason, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you a story. There is this international backer from Finland who bought the PDF the first campaign, and we love him for it. We appreciate it. We will always thank him for it. Then he came back the second time around and bought all 3 books because he liked the PDF so much. So I don't care what they say about PDFs. At the end of the day, a copy sold is a copy sold, and we always appreciate and thank our backers, no matter what tier they back.
Yeah, and a lot of times people they'll do digital first to see if it's something that they really want to back, and then they'll come back and they'll get the physical copy.
Absolutely.
So not a bad idea, not a bad idea. And then you got the $14 Thanatos, which is the second edition.
It's just a physical copy. Yes, sir.
That's the physical, and I
Is
keep
the
hitting.
physical copy. Is the physical copy, like I said, is gonna be perfect bound, 40 pages, glossy cover, cardstock, really good quality book, and of course you see the art that it speaks for itself, and great storytelling as well.
And then the Charon, I'm probably butchering that. Is it Charon or Chiron, depending on who you ask?
It depends on who you ask it.
Yeah,
This-
we got
this one's
all three books in the PDF form, and then we start getting into the other tiers. And I want to go down here to the one that's really interesting to me. It's the Pandora's Box.
Yes.
So give me the pitch on that one, man.
All right, so it's a mystery box filled with merchandise, books, sketches, a bunch of other things that we're trying new T-shirts, some other stuff. We promise we're just not gonna send you a box of rocks. All right, there's gonna be good stuff in there, but it's a mystery. You know, not everybody who backs this perk is gonna get the exact same thing. So we kind of wanted to have some fun with it and see where it goes and see if anybody actually backs it. And look, you know, it's not a crazy idea at all because you are gonna get a lot of stuff. That's all I can say. But I don't want to spoil it and tell you exactly what you're gonna get. You just trust me that you're gonna get a lot of. And we deliver. Look, we deliver. We fulfill the whole of our first campaign. You know, this book is 99% done, both of them. And of course, the first one is already done. So it's just a matter of making the variant cover. The pinups are being finished up, and why not? So all we have left is just work on our merchandise and things that we want people to get. So yeah.
Yeah. So and like stuff you can get, you got Grim Reaper T-shirts, you got the pinups, you got the books, you got
drawings. You can be part of the book. Yeah, limited.
So there's a lot of stuff you could possibly get here.
Yeah, and those are limited. Remember that the drawings are limited. But the cool thing about the $250 one in particular is that you get that drawing in both books, and you get called out by name. So it's a pretty good deal. And not only that, but you also get a free commission. And if you have ever commissioned any kind of art, you know that it can get a lot more expensive than that.
Yeah. But that was an interesting thing. I like it when people put creative little perks in them with their stuff there.
Yeah,
so I saw that and then I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing there, man. But yeah, very cool, very 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 cool. So one other thing, so a couple of questions I wanted to ask you guys because like I said, there's a lot of projects that are going on right now.
Yes,
and more and more of these indie projects are popping up both in and out of CG, and people are starting to look at possible crossovers with different properties. Have you guys talked to anybody? And if you could, what properties do you think would mesh well with Grim Reaper?
Great question. We haven't, you know, I think we are at a stage right now where we are, you know, really new and I think really starting out. You know, there is surprise or not, there's still a lot of people who are kind of testing the water, see how we do and all that stuff. I would love to do some crossovers for sure, without a doubt. And if I did, you know, I think more so than what the property is, I think that to me it will mean a lot more to who the person I'm working with is, because if we're working on our baby comic together, we definitely want not only the best talents but the best quality people behind it. So if I personally were to work with somebody, if me and my wife were to work with anybody, I think we will both agree on this. We could probably say it at unison. It will be Vinny Tornielli. You know what I mean? He is a wonderful person. He's a wonderful creator. He's very talented. If I could work with someone else besides him, it will be Sim, because he is a very talented artist that draws in a very very cool way that I personally like, and he is fast, so he delivers quick. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what's this project? What projects are they working on?
he is working on Blood Hunt, I believe, right? Same.
Oh, that's the vampire guy.
Yeah, he's working on several actually. Yeah, several. And Vinny is working in Through the Woods, and that one is doing really well. He did. He also did City of Venus, and a bunch others. But I think one of the books that he was launching last year, and that's why you might not have heard of him, is because he was working on a kid's book. I don't remember the name. I think it was called. I don't really wanna say something that is inaccurate, but it has something to do with Howling Hill or something like that. And it was a kid's book. It was written in prose, and he had really good art. And that's the thing that we like so much about artists such as him, and the talents that they bring to the table is versatility. They can really accommodate to the style. And as you know, the Grim Reaper is really a good blend of Eastern and Western styles of drawing and coloring. You have kind of that mix between manga style and Western comic style. So, if someone can actually like work with that, I think he'll be one of those guys, because they're just they have so much versatility. And like I said, doing a crossover, we would love to, but we
Yes,
gotta.
it has to be the right thing.
It has to be the right person. Yeah.
Yeah. And that book that he did was The Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill.
There you go. That's the one.
Yeah, I remember Through the Woods. Through the Woods was one of those ones that I didn't get in on, and I kind of like sorry I didn't, because I know that he's doing he's got the hardbound for it now.
Yeah.
That he's
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, we got it. We haven't gotten it yet, but we did back it, and we're very excited to get it, because the art that he puts a lot of details in his art, and that's something that it's it makes it tough to read, because you're paying so much attention to the beauty of the painting that is before you. Um, but if you're an artist, or if you like art like I do, that's something definitely that you want to get.
Yeah, I like when it comes to the comics and stuff that I buy, I'm an art guy first and a story guy second. I mean, I
Yeah,
like a good story in my books. I mean, that's just like, icing on the cake. But I,
yeah,
I shop with my eyes first. So, and his stuff, that was one of the things that actually attracted me to him. I was like, oh man, I really wish I got in on this, because his artwork is really, really good.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
Cool. And Carla, the same question to you, Carla, man. They're like, is there anything like any crossovers that you think you'd like to do with somebody? Because I know you're already collaborating with Antonio with that video. I mean, I know that Antonio, he's got his stuff planned out for years ahead. So
Oh yeah. Well, as for the art, I'm always fantasizing about doing crossovers with a lot of artists, like a lot of artists. It will be super fun. Even using the concepts of the Green Reaper in the tone of other stories, because I'm not thinking of, okay, who has like a dark horror, cosmic horror story. No, no. I think of every campaign, like how would I adapt these characters to that style, to have fun and explore the characters a little more. As far as the project with Antonio, that I'm gonna be collaborating with his video making,
Mhm.
but I don't take that as an illustrator thing, so I kind of separate that kind of abilities.
yeah,
Um,
like I said, he's got his stuff is like planned out for like a long time. He's
oh
got
yeah, yeah, yeah.
brand like I actually got the digital version of Brand. I've been reading it, and there's a lot of story in that thing, man. He packed a lot of storylines into that, and I'm actually have to go back. I'm actually going back and reading it a second and a third time, trying to make sure that I've got everything straight, because like he packed like the story in that book is dense. He's got he's got plans for days. That book.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he also sent me some graphics, and they look incredible.
Yeah. Did you guys back his book?
Not yet,
No, we haven't backed
but
Antonio's, but
like, yeah, we're still like building ourselves from the fire, and
Right. Yeah, but once you guys get back in your feet, like it's definitely I like I said, he's my guy and everything, but I don't want this to sound like I'm being biased, but I personally think it's the best written book of all the CG books I've read so far.
that's awesome.
It's,
yeah,
he packed a lot of story into that book.
it looks very good. Like I've seen some of the book because of course because it's collaborating with my wife, we get to see a lot of it, and it looks great. It looks great. It's the amount of detail, the amount of everything, it's fantastic. Phenomenal.
Kanan's a superstar, man.
Mm.
I'm amazed that that guy has not been snatched up by one of the big two.
Yes, yes.
See here. Okay. Yeah, so I hit all my questions here. Is there anything you guys wanted to oh yeah, I did back your book. I think with all the excitement and everything that happened with the fire and then all the fundraising and everything and then all the other things that happened, I haven't looked in my emails to see if I missed it because I wanted to read I wanted to read it and before the interview and everything, but I'm gonna have to I haven't checked my email in like a month and a half, so I've got 4,000 emails I got to pass through. But
yeah, so check in your inbox if for whatever reason it went to your spam or whatever, we'll send you a copy again. It's no big deal.
Okay. But yeah, like I backed it digitally and but I wanted to do because I like to do reviews for all these books. That's the reason why I said I'm having to reread Brand like a second and third time so I make sure that I've got the story right. But yeah, I definitely want to read that and hopefully give you guys some good feedback. Like you said, like you want like when people read your books for you guys, you want them to give you feedback so you can improve. And that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, that's why like I really appreciate every single one of our backers, and communicating with them is it's such a blessing because we get to hear a lot of constructive comments. We get to hear a lot of good pointers that we eventually end up implementing in the following campaigns, and things that we end up doing, things that we drop because they don't work, and that's just the way to move forward.
Cool. So you got book 2 is pretty much, you said, almost done. You guys already looking ahead to book 3, and like you said, you've got an idea for it. Are you starting to work on book 3 or?
Oh yeah, I'm already working on book 3. It's not being illustrated yet, but I'm already writing the script for it and for the spin-off as well.
Cool deal. Okay, that's pretty much all the questions I got. Do you guys want to say anything else before we close this out, or?
Yeah, sure, guys. If you're watching this, please again back the Grim Reaper. Support your indie creators. We are very passionate about this kind of projects. We put a lot of work into it, but most importantly, I assure you, a really fun time. A great read, tons of beautiful art that you're looking at right now, and lots of action. To subscribe to Comic Book Channel, to Comic Book Bob channel rather, and and stay tuned for more. We have a lot more updates regarding this project coming up. So yeah.
Cool. And thank you. Anyway, want to go ahead and close it out here, guys. Thanks to everybody that stopped in today, and thanks to John and Carla for coming on again, guys. Having you guys on is fun. So anytime you guys want to stop in on any stream, you feel free to do so, man. Because I really like the stuff that you guys are doing. I just like talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. And John, I want to reiterate, man. How does it feel to know that you hit the lottery in life and you found a woman who's into the exact same thing that you are, man? Like you found a unicorn, brother.
I feel like a lucky dog.
All right, guys. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. As always, hit like, hit subscribe. Check out John and Carla on all their social media. That's all in the link below. And yeah, definitely go check out Grim Reaper 2, guys. Thanks for being here and have a good day.